Gambling platforms obtain real-time information about sports events through several advanced and reliable sources. Here's a breakdown of how they do it. 1. Data feeds from sports data providers. Specialized data providers. Gambling platforms subscribe to services provided by specialized sports data companies like Sportradar, Genius Sports, Opta, and Stats Perform. These companies collect, process, and distribute real-time data from a vast range of sports events globally. Direct partnerships. Some data providers have direct partnerships with leagues, teams, and governing bodies, giving them access to official data, which they then relay to gambling platforms almost instantaneously. 2. APIs application programming interfaces. Gambling platforms often integrate APIs provided by data companies. These APIs feed real-time data, including scores, player stats, and in-play events like goals or fouls, directly into the betting platform, enabling live betting and instant updates. 3. Real-time streaming service. Some platforms offer live streaming of events, which is closely tied to real-time data feeds. The data is synchronized with the video stream to provide bettors with a seamless experience. 4. In-house data collection teams. Larger gambling companies may have their own teams dedicated to gathering and verifying sports data. These teams might work with scouts and other personnel at events to ensure the data is accurate and timely. 5. Artificial intelligence and machine learning. AI and machine learning models are increasingly being used to predict and provide data insights in real time. These systems can process large volumes of data from multiple sources and predict outcomes or provide insights that are used to adjust odds dynamically. 6. Crowdsourcing and user-generated data. Some platforms may also use crowdsourcing, where users or fans at events provide real-time updates. However, this is typically supplementary and not relied upon as the primary source due to reliability concerns. 7. Television and broadcast feeds. While not as direct as data feeds, some platforms use broadcast delays to adjust their real-time odds and offerings, though this is becoming less common with the advent of faster, more direct data sources. 8. Direct league or event feeds. In some cases, gambling platforms might receive direct feeds from the leagues or events themselves, particularly if they are official partners or sponsors of the event. These methods ensure that gambling platforms can provide real-time betting options and accurate, up-to-date information, which is crucial for in-play or live betting markets.
Matches on their site. The most important thing is using the professional analyze tool and database as they do. Most of them obtain a large scale of data by an API from the professional sports data provider. You might check it by yourself in the following options. FlySports API is the complete and time-tested sports data solution for delivering scores and real-time settlements covering all major sports events, specially designed to help sports product and platform providers diversify their offering. 60,000 plus events per month, live events for over 35,000 plus. It provides successful sports book operators with fast access to new sports markets, an unrivaled number of sports events, and industry-leading accuracy. And ESPN API is one of the best ways to know about it. They have their own API so that their data is trustful and reliable. They covered most major and minor leagues with live scores, standings, events, lineups, pre-match odds, statistics. More than 390,000 annual games are included. Lastly, Rapid API and Sports API covered most major and minor leagues with live score, standings, events, lineups, pre-match odds, statistics. They have built a simple and logical architecture to facilitate your developments. How the real-time live sports scores websites get the scores extremely fast. Most of these statistics are still recorded manually. In terms of soccer, companies hire analysts to watch matches and document. Most of these employees are young and male, doing the job in their spare time. They use software to record goals, saves, complete passes, and more complicated statistics while watching live or recorded video. For instance, 3 analysts will cover each match, one collecting all of the home team events, one the away team, and a third analyst checking the data for consistency and adding additional layers of data. Each game has more than 1,600 logged events and standards in order to make sure each record is accurate. Here is some outstanding data provider in the market nowadays. From my point of view, Opta and Huskerd are the toppest all over the world. If you want reliable and accurate sports data provider, or what called an API, strongly recommend eSports API, which coveraged all range of sports data. More than 900 different international and national competitions, cups and leagues in all major football federations around the world, represented by live scores, fixtures, group standings, history data, and in-play events.
Overreactions to media. For example, if a star player is injured or a big upset happens in a recent game, the public might overreact to these events, and fading the public could mean betting on the undervalued team. 4. When to fade the public. High-profile games. Public betting is often more prevalent in games with a lot of media attention, such as big rivalries or playoff games. In these situations, public biases can lead to poor betting decisions. Heavy favorites. The public tends to bet on favorites, especially in games involving large point spreads. If the public is heavily betting on the favorite, it might create value on the underdog. Line discrepancies. If a team is heavily favored despite questionable performance or against a strong underdog, the public might be misjudging the situation. Fading the public in such scenarios can be profitable. 5. Risks of fading the public. Not always profitable. While fading the public can be a good strategy, it's not foolproof. Public bettors can win, and sometimes the public's opinion aligns with good value. Overvaluing contrarian bets. Some bettors fall into the trap of betting against the public just for the sake of being different. However, this can lead to poor decisions if the bet is not based on solid analysis. The line can move against you. When fading the public, the line may move further in favor of the public side, making it more difficult to win the bet. 6. Tools to help with fading the public. Sportsbook betting data. Many sportsbooks provide information about the percentage of bets or money being placed on each side of the wager. Tracking these can help identify public betting trends. Betting analytics websites. Platforms that track trends and line movements, such as Action Network, Covers, or Sports Insights, often provide information on public betting percentages and line shifts. Conclusion: fading the public is a popular strategy, but it requires careful analysis and an understanding of when the public's bets are likely to be incorrect. It's essential to not only rely on the fact that the public is betting one way, but to also consider factors such as line movement, team performance, injuries, and other relevant data. When executed well, fading the public can provide profitable opportunities, but it should always be done with proper research and a good grasp of the betting landscape.